Mr. Mayor, you've travelled a long way to bring a message of peace, and you're very welcome, and it was a pleasure to hear you address the Seanad today. I too have links with Japan. My niece is married to a man called Takasawi, and my mother, I recall, meeting her grandchildren, turned to us and said, "Isn't it marvellous they've learned to speak Japanese so young?" So, it would be wrong of me today not to mention Nihon Hidenko, I think is the correct pronunciation, the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts to ensure a world free of nuclear weapons. You, Mr. Mayor, as President of Mayors for Peace, I'm aware of your efforts in trust-building dialogue. Being the child of survivors of the Hiroshima bombing, you have not just a political but a personal connection to the disastrous effects of nuclear weapons. At the moment, the world is in a situation akin to 1914, when we are with the war in Ukraine and the prospect of a larger regional war in the Middle East. There's a powder keg atmosphere in which things could spin out of control very quickly, resulting in nuclear war. Indeed, Putin's illegal war in Ukraine has continued, and early in that war there were threats of nuclear weapons being used. Those threats still exist today. At the moment, North Korean troops are being deployed into the battlefield, while Iran and Russia are in the middle of signing a new defence alliance. This is happening just as Israel is about to retaliate against Iran's mission or rockets fired on the Israeli people. While neither Ireland nor Japan are militarily powerful as the United States or Russia, it's essential at this time that we use our position, leverage our position in upholding peace. While we're no doubt very different, our countries are, there are similarities in our history. Japan has an admirable commitment to demilitarization and advocating avoiding conflict since the end of World War II. I know that you're aware of this, but I'm saying it for the benefit of most of the members of this chamber. Article 9 of the Japanese Constitution forbids the use of war as a means to settle international disputes. This is highly admirable, but in recent years there have been attempts to reinterpret this. To date, Japan has demonstrated great ability to overcome traumatic periods in its history. After World War II, the Allied nations sought to ensure that the Japanese economy could develop. That was before signing the Plaza Agreement in 1985 that contributed to the lost decade. In some ways, the economic boom and bust that Japan experienced has some parallels with the Celtic Tiger in Ireland. While not perfect, the approach to international relations by Western countries to Japan has helped to make upholding Article 9 of your Constitution possible. Similarly, Ireland, since the founding of the state, has had a commitment to neutrality. Although in practice we have deviated from this, some politicians will unironically say we are neutral militarily, but not politically. Ireland is a post-colonial nation and has experienced imperialism. In this way, the intergenerational trauma we have experienced has translated into most of the Irish population wanting to uphold peace on the international stage and not engage in military adventurism. Many in this chamber would see me as one who supports Ireland joining NATO. This is, of course, completely misinterpreting my views of the world. My belief is that we should be a truly neutral country. Frequently, debates happen in both houses in this house, or in this building, where people speak about Ireland's neutrality without clearly understanding what neutrality is. The Hague Convention of 1907 sets out clearly what neutrality is. In many respects, Ireland is breaking the convention. Definitions of neutrality, indeed, I asked the Taoiseach, the Deputy Prime Minister, to give us a definition of neutrality, and what I got was the Irish definition of neutrality. There is only one definition, and that is the Hague Convention. By not holding to the definition of the Hague Convention in neutrality, we compromise our own neutrality. It undermines our credibility on the world stage.
Thank you.
Sorry, I might come to the end of my time, have I?
It's elapsed, actually.
I tend to go over time, Mayor.
No. Not usually. not usually, in fairness.
Mayor, at the end of the day, we need people like you speaking out for peace, and we need to hear your voice loud. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Senator Craughwell. And Kay, can I